Okay, welcome to the webinar. What are we talking about here today, Paul?
Hello, team. We're going to be talking about transactional email and some new training that's going out because we're going to be doing transactional emails in the stores now. I want to start out by saying that this is not new to the company, but it is new to the retail stores. We've actually been doing this on our web and for a very long time. And now we're bringing that to life in the stores and that great customer experience that goes along with it. And it really does change the customer experience. There are a couple of things that we're going to talk about because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with what the expectations are and how to really make sure that we're delivering on that customer experience. So some of those things you guys need to be aware of, such as number one, when we go through to do this, this will be with all transactions that happen in the store. Some of those things will be held for 24 hours, like pickup, on purpose, so that the teams have the time that they need to react. I want to take a moment to thank the team that actually put all this together, because there's a lot of hard work that went into making sure that this happened. So thank you to Brian, Kelly, Eric, Debbie, and Jason for making the job for the associates and our company a little bit better. So let's talk about what this means to you. And when we talk about transactional emails, this is about customer service. A lot of these are going to go directly to the customer and create that level of communication that is really our number one complaint that we get from customers. And then we're going to talk about some of the things that we need to do as a team to make it a little bit better. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, so the first one, and this is the most important part, guys, is that after entering the initial customer information and you hit enter, you'll notice that the screen actually goes to a confirmation mode, and I'm actually in the confirmation mode here. You can see down at the bottom it says confirm entries, and really the best practice here, because all of our information about a customer is really around the email address itself, we want to make sure that that email address has 0 mistakes in it. So the best practice is to read the email back to the customer and spell it out to avoid any mistakes. So in this case, you can see it's bestcustomer@outlook.com. That's bestcustomer @outlook.com. Is that correct? Okay, great. So that's the confirmation that you need to do with every single customer to make sure that it's correct. This is the most important piece to all of this because the entire thing works off of email. So this piece has to be done 100% and perfectly.
So if it isn't correct, Paul, the customer will not be notified when an order is ready for pickup or ready for delivery?
That is correct. That is correct. So it's really important that the customers have this information.
So we need 100%, right? I mean, there's no margin for error there. That's 100%. Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about the types of transactional emails. And there are order confirmations that we're going to be going through. I'm going to go through each one of these. So I've got order confirmation, shipping confirmation, status updates, cancellations, returns, order available for pickup and or delivery. We're going to talk about each one of those. All right, so the first one, I'm going to show you guys examples of all of them. But you'll notice that with many of the order confirmations, it contains the same information. There are slight differences, but they all basically say, we acknowledge your order. Please look it over and let us know if there are any errors in your order. So let's start out with the order confirmations, and the first order confirmation here is drop ship. You'll notice a couple of things. Down at the bottom, you'll see that it has the manager, but that's really just a placeholder. So that's really going to have the sales associate information down at the bottom so that the customer has the ability to contact the sales associates back. It's going to include the shipping information, the billing information, along with the total and payment method. Really what I want you guys to think about is all of these order confirmations take the place of a receipt. It's now a digital receipt. So when you guys are ordering anything online, you'll receive a receipt confirmation back. That's what this order confirmation really is that customer's receipt of exactly what's taken place. So let's go into some of the details on the next one on what exactly you guys will see here. So this one is the pickup in store, and you'll notice that there are a couple of things. It's a lot the same, but it doesn't have any of the shipping information. I want you to notice a couple of different things. Number one, down at the very bottom, there's an opportunity for the customer to give us a survey. And it's important that we get feedback from the customers, but it's also a great way to communicate back and forth with the customer to see whether or not this experience is delivering what we expect. And there's also an area that says thank you up at the top, and it goes into the detail and thanks them about their order. So this is a great way for us to be able to explain to the customer exactly what's happening with their order. And then down at the bottom, there's a please note. So we'll want to make sure that we go through that. And this please note is really about making sure that we deliver on that customer expectation. So this one in particular is about making sure that the customer knows that any electrical work needs to be scheduled before the merchandise arrives. We would tell you that we want you to wait until you get the merchandise before you actually start scheduling your installations. It's a great way to be able to do that. The next one is really about the order confirmation for store delivery. And again, just a receipt, guys, much the same as the other ones that we were looking at. And I'm going to quickly go through these. A lot of the same information in these. This one is the order confirmation for take with. A lot of the same information that we saw in the others. This one is a little bit different. So here's an order confirmation for mixed fulfillment. And this is an all-in-one order confirmation, and it depends on how it's being fulfilled. And they'll get subsequent emails on this. So this one's a little bit tricky. So we gave an example here. The very first one here is a direct shipped item. The second one is for a in-store delivery, and the third one is for a take-with item. So when you look at mixed fulfillment, they'll get one order confirmation or one receipt. And then when we go to deliver these and fulfill in the different ways, they're going to get an email for each one of those fulfillment methods. So if it's been delivered, there will be a subsequent email for that. It will be a subsequent email for each item also. So as they come in, and this is the way that you see it with our competitors when they're delivering products, they will have 3 or 4 items for delivery, and each time one of those items gets set for delivery, you get a confirmation of it.
And just the similarities of all the confirmations, the person's information is at the bottom. So if they see an issue with the confirmations, you're going to be the first one that they reach out to, right, Paul?
That is correct.
Okay. And I think this is the last. Oh no, that's it for the order confirmations. Now we're on to a shipping confirmation for drop ship.
Right, and this one is drop ship, and there are a couple of notes here. So you're going to see again the product details, billing, shipping information. This one you'll notice there is no sales associate info down at the bottom. Instead, it is the 1-800 team, which is our CET and DeLand teams. So that all now starts going over to those teams so that they can specialize in taking care of the customer instead of it always having to wait for the sales associate. So this is one of those big time savers that's going to help you and create a better customer experience. There is a special note here, and that is that the associate does not receive this same email. So when there's a shipping confirmation that goes out, it's just going to the customer, not to the associate. And that's all on purpose. One of the things that we want to make sure that you guys know is that some of this is also going to have information that just makes it easier for the customer. In this case, we have the tracking ID as a live link, so the customer can click on that directly, get the answers that they're looking for, and move on.
And you know that the 800 number is underlined, meaning that if it's on an iPhone or whatever, you click that 800 number, it dials it automatically too.
That's correct.
So it's a lot of little conveniences in here for the customer. And again, they're not going to call you if they see, oh my God, it's going to the wrong shipping address. They're going to call the call center, who may have the ability to change that. The right person is going to be called by the customer.
That's correct. The next one, this is just for shipping date change. This is a status update, very similar. Order cancellation. So in this one, we've got a couple of different things. We will delay this for 24 hours, and the associate is notified by the CET. The associate should reach out to the customer. That's a best practice, just to see what's going on. This only goes out if the entire order is canceled, not the individual item. So you should be aware that if you make a change and cancel one item off of the order, it is not going to send the customer a confirmation of that. It's only if the entire order has been canceled.
So this is obviously from a customer experience standpoint, Paul. It's very important that that we reach out to the customer before they get this email, whenever possible, so that we can soften the blow, because typically they're not going to be happy seeing that something that they've taken the time to order and pay for has now been canceled. So we're going to give 24 hours so that this is an important thing to stay on top of. And again, at the bottom, the person that they're going to reach out to is the salesperson.
Yeah, and we do this today, so nothing really changed there, but we want you to know that the customer is going to get notification of it within 24 hours, so we really just have to stay on top of it. This one is a little easier. This one is the order cancellation for a customer changed mind. So the customer typically knows about this one, and they're just getting a receipt that says, no problem, we canceled your order like you asked.
Yep.
All right, this one is the return refund confirmation, and this also goes into a best practice, and that is that the sales associate calls the customer to identify the reason for the return. Was it the wrong color? Was it the wrong size? Was it broken? What was the reason for return? And offer assistance to the customer. Create that 360-degree customer experience. The next one is the order available for pickup. This one gets delayed for 4 hours, and that's really to give our warehouse teams a little bit of time to make sure that they receive it and put it in the proper location, and we're ready for the customer. The likelihood is the customer is going to walk in with this order available for pickup confirmation and hand it to the customer service desk and or an associate.
All right, just now, show them their phone. This is here.
Yeah, and likely they'll be using it on their phone. The contact information on this one has changed a little bit. This is the general store line for the operations manager or in-store customer experience team.
Yep.
Order available for delivery, very similar to the last one. They'll be contacted within 24 hours by the operations team to schedule delivery. So product has been received, and now it goes on to our operations teams to make sure that they're contacting the customer. So on this one, an order available for delivery, we're also delaying this one for 24 hours so that they get a chance to call the customer. And a pickup confirmation. On this one, I just want to note a couple of things. When a customer gets something that says pickup notification, it's a receipt saying that they actually have it. We need to make sure that we don't make any mistakes here. We have to make sure that everything that has been invoiced, the customer has actually received. If we invoice something early, before it's picked up or delivered, it'll create a poor customer experience, and the customer will pick up the phone and call the number immediately and say, I didn't get this. So we need to make sure that our teams are diligent about making sure that the customer has received the product before we invoice. And the same for delivery confirmation. Same thing, same experience. We just need to make sure that we're 100%. All right, let's do a quick summary, and then I think that Eric's got some questions that have come in from the team, so we'll cover all of those questions. So number one, the most important piece of all of this is the customer email verification. So I need everybody's assistance in making sure that we do this 100% of the time. A reminder that the customer will receive notifications on each item as it's received. So if they've got 7 items on a delivery, they're going to get 7 emails for each one of those. They're going to get 1 email for each one of the items. This is a big change for us, and it's a big change going forward as a company that really saves the associates time. And we estimate that we're going to save somewhere around 2 hours per sales associate per week, and roughly 20 customer service hours per week per store.
And, I've heard salespeople say they're going to save 2 hours per day. Just that's how much time they estimate they're doing on administrative work and staying on top of customer orders. This should alleviate 90% of that.
Yeah, and this is really going to make it easier for the sales associates to take that time that they would have been spending on operational issues and really just focus on their customer and focus on sales. All right, if you do have an issue, we want to make sure that that goes to helpdesk@1-800-lighting.com. So if you guys have an issue, something that went wrong, a customer complaint, anything that you're hearing, this is where we want you to send it. Please send it to the helpdesk@1-800-lighting.com, and we'll get it to the right team.
Yep, that was a couple of questions that came in saying if a customer saying they're not getting their emails or something looks wrong to the customer, and everything should go to help desk. And if it's just take if it's more urgent than that, Paul, should they reach out to their store manager? And
absolutely, get the manager on duty involved immediately if there's a problem that needs to be addressed. And then always put it into the help desk. This helps us track it so that we know what's going on and we can make sure that those customers got taken care of 100%.
Correct.
This is really about,
go on, sorry.
This is really about improving the customer experience and about the customer communication. And all of this should make the sales associate's job easier.
Mm-hmm. And when does it launch? Tuesday?
Launches on Tuesday. Launches on Tuesday. And I know that seems very close, but really, guys, we've been doing this for a long time on our 800 and our web sales. So this is something that our teams are already very familiar with. It works really well with web sales. We're just making it easier for the sales team. So the operational teams and the sales teams in the stores are really going to benefit from the experience learned from the web.
And just to go back to that help desk, we don't expect this to launch perfectly without any issues whatsoever. So as with any new launch, everyone just has to be patient, and we need your feedback as quickly and as comprehensively as possible. So if there are challenges, we can address them and fix them quickly for everyone. The other questions were, will the salesperson get copies of all the emails that their customers are getting? And I think you answered that. The answer is no. They're not going to get all these emails.
Correct.
Okay.
And remember, these are really more like receipts for the customer. It's the same communication that the associates are receiving in the stores today. If there is an issue, it will be addressed by CET.
And the last question, Paul, because I know we're running out of time, is if a bad email, even with the salesperson checks, and a customer gives a bad email, maybe they had it wrong. How do we rectify that? Is that figured out yet?
Yes, you can go into VAI and correct it. But if you know that it's a bad email, please do us a favor and also put that in help desk. Go ahead and email it so that we can validate that everything has been corrected, because that is the one trigger for every customer is the email address. Perfect going forward.
Very good. I mean, it is a new day at Capital Lighting with this level of customer service that we're going to be able to deliver with these transactional emails. It's very, very exciting. This really is a leapfrog over our competitors, or especially our retail competitors. And I think it's going to be a wonderful thing that's going to give our salespeople a lot more time to sell, and our customer service a lot more time to be more efficient in their prospective jobs. So great, very exciting, Paul. Anything else before we sign off and let everybody go back to work?
No, I think our sales associates have already given us feedback saying they're really excited about this. Let's turn that extra time into sales. Let's get out there and drive some sales and create better customer experiences.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you again
guys.
soon.